holding the candy thrown. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Hello. Shabbat shalom, everyone. If you'll please come in and find your seats, we're about to begin. Shabbat shalom, everyone.
Shabbat shalom.
Welcome to Temple Akiba of Culver City for our Shabbat morning service. You okay, Perrin? During which Perrin is becoming a bat mitzvah. We're so excited to celebrate with you and your family and your friends, your community who are all here. We do welcome you. My name is Rabbi Zach Shapiro. I'm here with our cantorial intern, Liz Baseman, and our cantor, Lonnie Freilich, and we're so glad that you're here. A couple of important things before the service begins. First of all of you in the back row, come up like 3 rows. You're too far away. Thank you so much. Second, your cell phones. If you can please make sure that they are in the silent mode. Don't just assume, but really take it out and make sure that it's not going to give us a creative ring during the service. We appreciate it. And we ask that you also keep the phones away. We don't need photos taken during the service. Jeff Graham is here to take those photos on our behalf. All of you should have received a Siddur, a prayer book as you walked in, handed out by members of our 7th graders. We will use the Siddurim to guide us through the service. There's a lot of prayers that are in Hebrew. Some of them are in English. We'll be explaining much of the service as we go along. Actually, Perrin will be leading almost all of it, and so we can follow her as she leads us on the journey. Did anyone somehow get through without our entourage handing you a prayer book? Can someone help? Okay, so can someone from our 7th grade go and grab a few? Thank you so much. Kendra, do you want to talk about the music at all?
I would love to. So Perrin will be leading us through most of our service alongside the clergy on the bima. But we love for your participation. We love for you to sing along with us, to join us in song and prayer. We'll be telling you the page numbers as we move through the service. But we always say, don't let the words get in the way. If you know the words, you don't know the words. Hopefully some of the melodies you'll pick up as we go along, and just sing la la la, but just join us.
And we are getting some prayer books in a moment. And for those who have them, we are beginning on page 70, page 70, with the singing of Hine Matov. How wonderful it is that we're all here together as one community. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. 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 Hine Matov Umanayim
Shevet Achim Gam Yachad. Hine Matov Umanayim Shevet Achim Gam Yachad.
continue now on page 72, and we invite Perrin and her parents, Beth and Craig, to come forward for the presentation of the Talit. Again, page 72.
As I wrap myself in the Talit, I fulfill the mitzvah of my Creator. Blessed Adonai, O my soul, Adonai my God, how great you are. You are robed in glory and majesty, wrapping yourself in light as in a garment, spreading forth the heavens like a curtain. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, asher kishana b'mitzvotav, v'ti'banu l'hitatev v'atzitzit. Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe, who hallows us with mitzvot, commanding us to wrap ourselves in the fringes.
For the very first time, as a Jewish adult, you fulfilled a commandment, a mitzvah, and that is putting on this very special talit, prayer shawl, that has been for generations in your family. And to mark such an occasion, we offer the blessing of the Shehechianu. It's on page 344. It thanks God for giving us life and sustaining us and enabling us to be right here, right now.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam shehechianu v'kimanu v'higianu lazman hazeh.
Continuing now on page 77, page 77, the top of the page.
Blessed are you, Adonai our God, sovereign of the universe. With divine wisdom, you have made our bodies, combining veins, arteries, and vital organs into a finely balanced network. Wondrous marker and sustainer of life, were one of them to fail, how well we are aware. We would lack the strength to stand before you. Blessed are you, Adonai, source of our health and strength.
Baruch atah Adonai, rofeh chol basar, umafli la'asot. Continuing now on page 84, we have the Nesim b'chol yom. These are a chain of blessings that remind us to capture miracles every day. We're going to respond by chanting, by singing Amen at the end of every blessing.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shizani b'tselem Elohim.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shizani bat chorin.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, shizani Israel.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Otzer Yisrael b'gurav.
Amen.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech haolam, Otzer Yisrael b'torav.
Amen. Continuing on page 106, we offer the Chatzi Kaddish.
Yikata v'yikata shemei rabba.
Amen.
Ve'amad divrach chirutei ve'amlich malchutei.
B'chayechon u'b'yomechon u'b'chayei dechol Beit Yisrael.
Bagala bagala uvizman karif v'imeru.
Amen. Yehi shmei Rabba mevorach le'olam u'olamei homaya. Yitbarach.
Yitbarach v'yishtabach v'yitpa'ar v'yitroma v'yinaseh v'yitadar v'yitale v'yitalal shemei dekudesha
Brichu.
le'ela min kol birchata v'shirata
Tushbechata v'nechemata damiram bi'alama.
v'imeru.
Amen. Our formal call to worship is the Baruch Hu. It's on page 108. We invite the congregation to please rise.
Baruch Hu et Adonai Hamavora.
Baruch Adonai
Hamavora
Le'olam
Le'olam Va'ed.
Va'ed. Continuing now on page 111, the top of the page.
In the beginning, even then, a new light was sown from righteousness, a promise that your light would become the catalyst, first for order and then for hope. Author of language and light, help us to use words as you have to cast light into dark waters and draw justice and truth.
Baruch atah Adonai, Yotzer HaMa'orot. Continuing now with the central prayer in Judaism, the Shema Yisrael. We're on page 114.
Shema Yisrael,
Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad.
Baruch Shem, Kevod Maluto, Le'olam Va'ed.
Please be seated. Perrin's going to continue with the chanting of the V'ahavta. We're on page 116.
Ve'ahavta Adonai Elohecha v'chol levecha uv'chol nafshecha uv'chol me'otecha ve'hayu havarim ha'ele asher anahi netzevaha hayom alavaveha v'shinantam levaneha v'ribartam b'ham b'shitaha v'vitaha u'letaha v'aderet u'shabtaha u'kumelha u'tartam le'oho ayadaha v'hayula tatafoho bein eineha u'tartam amizuzo beteha v'yishareha Lamaham tiskaru vatitem ekol mitzvotai v'him kadoshim Elohechem Ani Adonai Elohechem Asher hotzei itehem meretz Mitzrayim v'hiot lehem Elohim Ani Adonai Elohechem.
Amen. Perrin, as you were so beautifully chanting, there was this look of awe on your dad and your mom's faces. Like, where have the years gone? And there was a look on your sister's face also, like, where's the chocolate that Rabbi promised he'd give me? You are leading our service in such an extraordinary way. You guys are all hearing some clattering of tambourines. That means that it's time to dance. Our next song is the Miriam song. It's on page 342. This leads us into our Micha Mocha prayer, our song of freedom. Just as in the Torah, Miriam took the timbrel and danced as the children of Israel were freed from Egyptian bondage, we too dance as well. We encourage anyone to come forward and grab a tambourine. We are going to march around and dance around our sanctuary in song.
There we go.
One, two, three, four, 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as he sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long.
And Miriam was a weaver of unique variety.
the tapestry she wove was one which sang our history. With every thread and every strand she crafted her delight. A woman touched with spirit as she dances for the light. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. As Miriam stood upon the shores and gazed across the sea, the wonder of this miracle she soon came to believe. Whoever thought the sea would part with an outstretched hand, and we would pass to freedom and march to the promised land. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. And Miriam the prophet took her timbrel in her hand, and all the women followed her just as she had planned. And Miriam raised her voice in song, she sang with praise and might. We've just lived through a miracle, we're going to dance tonight. 5, 6, 7, 8, and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Micha mocha ba'evi Madonai. Micha mocha deja bakona. Nora tehilo no tehele. Nora tehilo no tehele. Hands up in the air and the women dancing with their timbrels followed Miriam as she sang her song. Sing a song to the one whom we've exalted. Miriam and the women danced and danced the whole night long. Woo!
Will you?
That was the most we've ever had. That's awesome.
It was so great to see so many of you participating in the dancing. Just getting our bodies moving makes a big difference. We're going to now continue in our liturgy with the Amidah. This can be found in our prayer books on page 124, and we ask all who are able once again to please rise. 124, everyone.
Adonai sefatatita utia yitihilateha. Adonai, open up my lips that my mouth may declare your praise. Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu, ve'Elohei avotenu ve'imatenu, Elohei Abraham, Elohei Yitzhak, Elohei Yaakov, Elohei Sarah, Elohei Rivka, Elohei Rahel, Elohei Leah, Ha'el Hagador, Hagibor v'Anara, El Elyon, Gomel Hasadim Tovim, V'Koneh Hakol, V'Tzoher Hasei Ahavot Ve'imahot, Umeki Ulav Nidnei V'Nehem, L'man Shamo Be'ahava, Mela Ozer Umashia Umoken, Baruch atah Adonai, making Avraham Bizrak Sarah. Atah Gibor Le'olam Adonai, Mehayel HaKol Atah Rav Le'oshea, Mahayel Hayim Behesed, Mehayel HaKol Berahamim Rabim, Zohomer Novlim Berofeh Holim, Umatir Asurim, Umekayem E'unato, Lishnene Afar, Mihamo Hapal Guvarot, Umidon lehelav, melech merit, umechayed, umatzia Yeshua, v'na'ana ata lehayot hakol, Baruch ata Adonai, mahayeh hakol.
נקדש את שמך בעולם, כשם שמקדישים אותו בשמי מרום, ככתוב היה נביאך, וקרא זה אל זה ואמר, קדוש, 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 אדוני צבאות, מלוך כל הארץ, כבודו. אדיר, אדירנו, אדוני, אדוננו, מאדיר שמך בכל הארץ. ברוך כבוד אדוני במקומו. אחד הוא אלוהינו, הוא אבינו, הוא מלכנו, הוא מושיענו והוא ישמיענו, ברחמיו לעיני כל חי. אני אדוני אלוהיכם, ימלוך אדוני לעולם, אלוהי ציון, לדור ודור. הללויה. לדור ודור נגיד גודלך, ולנצח נצחים קדושתך נקדיש. בשבחך אלוהינו, מפינו לא ימוש, לעולם ועד. ברוך אתה אדוני, האל הקדוש.
Friends, we're going to take a few moments now for our own silent reflection. We can use our Sidurim, our prayer books, between pages 136 and 142. Maybe you find a reading or a prayer on there that resonates with you. You can also take a moment to just reflect on what's going on inside your own heart and soul. When you're finished with your own private prayer, you may be seated. Books there, yeah, come on up. Perrin, Marla, why don't you guys come up as well?
La 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 la. Hashem. Ayo, away. Ayo, away.
Thank you all very much. In so many ways, everything up to this point in our service has been kind of coming up to the foothill of the mountain. We're preparing ourselves for the great ascent that Perrin will be leading us up now. And it is beautiful that our Torah portion for this Shabbat is entitled Bahar, which means at the mountain, specifically at Mount Sinai. We were discussing in Torah study this morning, just prior to the Bat Mitzvah, how it doesn't matter geographically where Mount Sinai is, that each of us at any moment can climb this very spiritual place by ascending, by asking questions, by reaching out and finding moments of holiness with others. Perrin, by your bringing all of us here today, you've made that connection. And we're now standing at the base of the mountain, Bahar, and you're going to lead us up. In order for that to happen, we need to bring the Torah out of the ark, and to open it up, we invite your sister Marlo, as well as Emily Ryan, to come forward. We ask the congregation to rise. We're on page 244, page 244.
Ein kamocha v'Elohim Adonai ve'en kemasecha malchutecha malchut kol olamim u'memshaltecha bechol dor v'hador Adonai melech Adonai malach Adonai yimloch le'olam va'ed Adonai oz le'amo yitain Adonai yivarech et amo v'shalom av harachamim heitiv avitzoncha et Zion tivnei chomot Yerushalayim tivnei chomot Yerushalayim kivecha levan batachnu melech el ram v'nisa Adon olamim.
Beautiful.
Ki mitzion tetzei Torah udevar Adonai miYerushalayim Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Baruch Shenatan Torah Torah Le'amo Yisrael B'Kdushato.
Some of you may have noticed that when the ark opened, there was a scroll that fell out. That was not a Torah scroll. If it were a Torah scroll, what would we have had to do?
I would have made each one of you fast for a day, or 40 of you fast for a day.
Right.
Yep.
There's the tradition of fasting. That was a different scroll. It wasn't a Torah scroll. We'll show it to you after the Torah service. It's a very important one for our congregation, but it's not the same as a Sefer Torah. When that one falls, it just means that Perrin has to fast for 100 days. Oh, no, okay. We're going to now call forward, representing your family, the generations who have helped you to get to this moment, including Kate Serlin and Dawn Lasser, Joanne Tanimoto, Ronnie Serlin, and Beth and Craig. We'd like you to come forward as well. And Marla, we want you to come back up as well, too. If you'll all please come up to the ark, to the bima. We're going to have grandparents closer to me, parents in the middle, Marlo on the very end, and then Perrin right next to Marlo. Lador Vador. From generation to generation, our Torah is handed down. It began with a conversation between God and Moses at Mount Sinai. Perrin, today it comes into your hands that someday you may connect your children as they ascend to a moment just like this.
Ledor vador, ledor vador, ledor vador, nagi golecha, ulenetzach nitzachim, ulenetzach nitzachim, kedushatcha naktish.
Shema Yisrael, Adonai Eloheinu, Adonai Echad, Echad Eloheinu, Gadol Adonenu, Kadosh Shemo.
Gadlu le'Adonai itiyu neromema shemo yachtav. Right, you're going to come with me. Marlo, you're going to be behind us.
Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al HaTorah ve'al ha'avodah ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Al Shlosha Devarim, Ha'olam Omed. Please be seated, everyone. Ve'al ha'avodah, ve'al gemilut chasadim. Al HaTorah, ve'al ha'avodah, ve'al gemilut chasadim. It's over here. Yeah, we'll get there. Yep.
Yep.
Good job, Cantor. Okay. All right, everyone, if you'll put your sidurim on the chair beside you or in the slot in front of you, and take out the chumash, which is also in those pockets in front of you. There's usually enough for 2 or 3 people. And if you open it up to page 850, page 850, we can follow along with the Torah reading this morning. And we are going to be calling forward a number of people to offer blessings, aliyot, before and after the reading. Please note that there are a number of ways to get up here. We've got a ramp, we've got a handrail over by Cantor Liz, or you can come up the stairs, whichever is most comfortable for you. For the blessings, you're going to be standing here to my left. For our first aliyah, we call forward Carol Bender, Bobby Bender, and Les Bender. Ya'amdu Krisel bat Gittel v'Yisrael ben Mordechai HaKohen v'Lebel ben Mordechai HaKohen. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Shabbat Shalom. Baruch Adonai HaMbarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch Adonai HaMbarach le'olam va'ed.
V'yedaber Adonai el Moshe b'har Sinai lamor.
Baruch Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nasa lanu Torah l'nes v'chayei olam tabechenu. Baruch Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Thank you so much. Yasher Koach. You're going to come stand by the cantors over here. For our second aliyah, we invite forward Lacey Tucker and Cheryl Tucker. Ta'amdu Leah Rochel bat Shlomo Yitzchak v'Shena Alta bat Chaim. Shabbat Shalom. Baruch Adonai HaMbarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMbarach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bachar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Daber el bnei Israel v'marta alehem ki tavo'u el ha'aretz asher ani noten lahem v'shafata ha'aretz shebahat le'Adonai.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam notan v'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Thank you both so much. Come stand over on this side. For our third aliyah, we invite forward Kate Serlin, Zachary Serlin, and Amanda Bishop. Ya'amod Shmuel Leib ben Shepselmer. Shabbat Shalom.
Baruch et Adonai HaMevorach.
Baruch Adonai HaMbarach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaMevorach le'olam va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Shanim tis rasata, Shanim tis more kamaha, Visavata atavata.
Baruch atah Adonai, Eloheinu melech ha'olam, asher natan lanu Torah temet, v'chayei olam nata b'torchenu. Baruch atah Adonai, noten ha'Torah.
Amen. Yasher Koach. Thank you all so much. You're going to come right over here. For our fourth Aliyah, we invite forward Joanne Tanimoto, Janice Kulinan, Robert Stewart, and Donald Lasser. Ya'amod Moshe David. Hi, everyone. Shabbat Shalom.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God's souvenir, survivors of the universe. You have chosen us from among all peoples by giving us your Torah. Blessed art you, Adonai, who gives the Torah.
V'shana hashavid, Shabbat, Shabbaton, Yihye la'aretz, Shabbat la'adonai, Zadaha la'tizra, Armaha la'tizmor.
Blessed are you, Adonai, our God, sovereign of the universe. You have given us a Torah of truth and planted within us everlasting life. Blessed are you, Adonai, who gives the Torah.
Amen. Thank
Amen.
you all so very much. You're going to come stand over on this side here. For our fifth Aliyah, we invite forward Ronnie Serlin, Robert Zwerin, Todd Serlin, Jordan Serlin, and Mark Bauer. Ya'amdu Rachmiel ben Shlomo Vetuvia Menachem ben Shepselmeir, V'Yakov David ben Shepselmeir. Shabbat Shalom, everyone.
Baruch Hu es Adonai HaBaruch.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai HaBaruch Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher b'chabanu mekol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai nosen ha'Torah.
Amen.
Here. Eight Sophia, Kisraha, Lo Tixor, Va'edave Naziraha, Lo Tixor, Shanat, Shabbaton, Yihye la'aret.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher nosen lanu Torah emet, v'chayei olam noten b'sachayinu. Baruch atah Adonai nosen ha'Torah.
Thank you so much, everyone. For our sixth Aliyah, we now invite forward your immediate family, Beth Sterling, Craig Tanimoto, and Marlo Tanimoto, Ta'amod Beh Lachana Bat Shepselmeir.
Baruch et Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai HaMorach Le'olam Va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah Le'olam Va'ed. Baruch et Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher bahar banu michol ha'amim, v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch et Adonai noten ha'Torah.
Amen.
V'hayata Shabbat ha'aretz lehem lo la laha uladifaha v'lei umataha v'lei shiraha v'toshaha habta ha'karbi mima.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher natan lanu Torat emet v'chaye olam natan b'tochenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah. Amen.
Ta'amod, ta'amod, ta'amod. Habuchora bat mitzvah. Peshka Sarah bat Belachana. We now invite the bat mitzvah herself, Perrin Skylar Tanimoto, for her aliyah.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah.
Baruch Adonai Hamborach le'olam va'ed.
Baruch Adonai Hamborah le'olam ba'ed. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech ha'olam asher bahar banu mikol ha'amim v'natan lanu et Torato. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen.
Believe him taha, harmataha, asher bataha, tihiye chol tevuataha lako. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam, asher natan lanu Torat emet, v'hayei olam nata b'tohenu. Baruch atah Adonai noten haTorah.
Amen. Yasher Koach! Wow. We're going to lift up the Torah so you can see what Perrin chanted from the text itself so beautifully. And as we lift Torah, we ask you once again to please rise.
Zot HaTorah asher tzar Moshe
livnei bnei Yisrael.
Al pi Adonai beyad Moshe. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai lai lai. Yai lai lai lai, yai lai 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 lai, yai lai 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 lai.
Please be seated, everyone. We're still in our larger Chumash, and if we open to page 861, we can follow along with the Haftarah, the section of the prophets, this week with the prophet Jeremiah. Perrin's going to begin with her blessing before the chanting, and then she'll go right into the chanting of the text itself.
Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam asher bahar b'im tovim v'ratzah v'direi hem hana emarim be'emet. Baruch atah Adonai aboher b'torah u'Moshe avdo V'Yisrael amo u'v'yeh ha'emet v'tzedek. V'yomer Yirmiyahu hayad devar Adonai elai lamor. Hanei hanem b'shalom dodaha ba'elaha lamor. Kanelaha etadi asher ba'anato ki laha mishpat haga'ulah liknot Vayavoi Elai Hanam El Bendodi Kivar Adonai Atatar Hamatera Vayomer Elai Kanena Atati Ashebanato Asher Be'eretz Biyamin Kilai Mishpat Hagarusha Uha Hagarula Kinela Ve'eta Kidar Avanai Hu Ve'ekne Hasede Me'et Hanam El Bendoti Asher Ba'anato Ve'ekalan Alo Ekaseb Shenalim Ba'asara Kaseb Ve'eto Besefer Ve'etom Va'aed Edim Ve'ko Hakaseb B'motinayim.
Hold on,
Sorry.
one second. Wow. Kendra was just sharing that you had some of the hardest cantillation in there, and you nailed that. Wow. So Perrin is about to offer the blessing after the chanting of Haftarah, and during this time, they are chomping at the bit. Members of our seventh grade will be handing out candies that, following the blessing after, everyone will have the opportunity to gently throw it onto the bima. Everyone should have just one piece of candy in your hand, maybe two. One of them you can stuff into your pocket for later. One of them you'll throw up. We ask you this favor. Once the candies are collected, keep them stuffed in your pockets. We are in a sanctuary. We don't have any eating in the sanctuary. And we also don't want the crinkling that you hear right now to be going on during the service. So, are you ready? Go for it.
Baruch Ata Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam Tzur kol ha'amin Zadik b'chol hadarot Ha'el ha'ne'eman Ha'omer ve'aseh Ha'medaber u'mekayem Shekol devara Emet v'tzedek Al HaTorah ve'al Havodah ve'al HaNe'im ve'al Yom HaShabbat HaTzek Shenatan Lanu Adonai Eloheinu L'Kedusha v'Linuha L'Papahod U'Latibaret Al HaKol Adonai Eloheinu Ananu Modim La'o V'Achim Atar Yivarashi Hai V'Pikol Hai Tavi Le'olam Va'ed Baruch Ata Adonai V'Kadesh HaShabbat.
All right, folks, come pick it up. Pick it up, stuff it away.
Thanks a lot, Miles.
And relax and have a seat. You want to bring your water with you?
Couldn't have gotten a red one. Oh, we missed one here.
Is that red? It's pink.
Everyone, let's take a deep breath of fresh air. Stuff those candies deep away. And let's place our chumash back in the chair in front of us and take our sidurim back out, our smaller prayer books. And we can open up to page 253. Page 253. Right in the middle of the page is our prayer for healing. And while we're on this spiritual high, while we're on this spiritual high, we have an opportunity and an obligation to pray for those who really need a prayer for healing. We're going to sing and pray together the first part of it. Then, as my eyes meet yours, if there are people that you're thinking of who could use an extra hug of healing, please say those names out loud so we can all pray together again as a community.
Mekor habracha leimotenu. May the source of strength, who bless the ones before us, help us find the courage to make our lives a blessing, and let us say, Amen. Mishabera imotenu mekor habracha lavotenu. Bless those in need of healing with refuah shelema, the renewal of body, the renewal of spirit, and let us say, Amen. And let us say, Amen.
As we prepare to place the Torah back in the ark, we call forward Marlo and Sydney Tanimoto. And Perrin, we'd like you to come forward as well. We're on page 256. We ask the congregation to please rise. Ki lekach tov natati lahem, torati al ta'azovu. For I have given you good instruction. Do not abandon my Torah.
Is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. It is a tree of life to them that hold fast to it, and all of its supporters are happy. Shalom, shalom,
It is a tree.
shalom, shalom,
It's not a bush.
shalom, shalom,
The tree of life.
shalom, shalom. Eitz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomchecha me'ushar. Eitz chaim hi lemachazikim ba v'tomchecha me'ushar. Shalom, shalom,
It is a tree.
shalom, shalom,
It's not a bush.
shalom, shalom.
The tree of life.
Shalom, shalom, shalom.
Please be seated, everyone.
Hello. Firstly, thank you all for coming. It means so much to me. We have people here from all over: Florida, New York, Massachusetts, Kentucky, and even California. Becoming a bat mitzvah is a rite of passage, the turning point from childhood to adulthood. And I'm so happy you could all celebrate this moment with me. During our talks, Rabbi Shapiro asked me what becoming a bat mitzvah means to me. I'll still have all the same responsibilities: going to school, doing homework, helping my community, and yet I've accomplished something here today that I spent many years working up to. Though getting here was a lot of work and a little stressful, I'm glad I took this path. I've learned so much about Judaism through Hebrew school with all my amazing teachers, to my sessions with cantorial intern Liz Baseman, Cantor Lonnie Freilich, and having conversations with Rabbi Zach Shapiro. I would like to thank the Sisterhood for the beautiful Kiddush cup and candles last night, and the men's group for the Tanakh. I will use them in good health. I would especially like to thank my family for always being there for me and helping me through this transition in life. My portion of the Torah is called Bahar from the book of Leviticus. Bahar is all about the laws of the land. It starts by saying that everything in this portion is what God tells Moses on Mount Sinai. This is already unusual because most of the laws in Leviticus happen later in the tent of meeting. What God explains to Moses is how people should treat the land. God starts by commanding Moses that the people should sow the fields for 6 years and they gather the yield, but on the 7th year, the land should have a Sabbath, a year of complete rest. This is like how we have Shabbat every Friday night and Saturday. God continues that in this 7th year, the people may not gather the yield of the fields or harvest their vineyards, yet they're still able to eat all the land still produces during this year's Sabbath. I found this confusing because it contradicts itself. As the portion continues, God states, "You shall count off 7 weeks of years, 7 times 7 years, so the period of 7 weeks of years gives you a total of 49 years. After this, the 50th year will be a jubilee. During the jubilee year, the people will not reap the aftergrowth or sow the fields, though you could eat the growth directly from the fields." The Torah portion goes on to say that when buying something or selling something, you have to only deduct the number of years since the Jubilee. In the end, I found this language not only contradictory, but the law is very confusing. Since the Torah provides us with laws to live by, I wonder why it's not more straightforward. I don't know much about modern laws, but they don't seem so straightforward either, so maybe laws are meant to be confusing. Another topic my portion discusses is owning slaves. I find this highly unfair and contradictory to my moral code. This is also very ironic because previously in the Torah, Jews are taken into slavery and God helped liberate them. But here, God is saying it's acceptable to have slaves. Another confusing law that follows this is on the Jubilee year, all debts are to be forgiven. I believe that this law is unjust because there are so many ways people could use this to their advantage. For example, they could get away without paying what they owe, leaving the people who need the money in debt with not enough to survive. As you can see, there's so much I find perplexing with this portion. That said, I feel the Torah overall provides us with important lessons and guidance that could be applied today. It makes me think of contemporary problems like debt and slavery, which shows us that the Torah is still relevant in 2022. I've been thinking about what it means and how the Torah connects to my modern day-to-day life. I'm half Jewish and half Japanese, so I have a very rich history. Both sides of my family went through some really hard times during World War II, from my ancestors to some people that are even here with us today. The rampant bias and racism that created this tragedy still exists. Going forward, I will try to spread more awareness to these issues as much as possible. My mama always talks about the idea of tikkun olam, repairing the world. As a bat mitzvah, I realized how I had the potential to be part of this change so future generations could be more tolerant of people that look, act, and behave differently from them. I might not have all the answers, but I have a lot of questions, and I guess that's a way to start. My mom is always there for me. and whenever I need help with anything, and my dad always knows how to make me smile. And Marlo, well, she's Marlo, so I love her no matter what. And finally, I have you guys, my community. And again, I'm so happy I could celebrate this day with all of you. Thank you for coming.
Perrin. Dad and I have so many impressions of your life. I can't believe how quickly time has passed. Your bat mitzvah comes at a pivotal moment as you transition from girl to young woman. And I've marveled how you've entered that in-between phase, figuring out what parts of your younger self you want to take with you into adulthood, and wondering which parts are yet to be discovered. As I've watched you prepare for today, I realize you've always been this cool combination of innocence and maturity. Years ago, when we asked you what you wanted to be when you grew up, you said, "I want to be a lollipop." We understood that you wanted to be sweet, and you still are. Later on, when Marlo was having a bad day, you told her, "Marmar, life is like a lesson that's hard to learn." By age 8, you already had a lot of wisdom. The child in you loves Disneyland, YouTube, and strawberry milk boba every chance you get. The adult in you knows how to be introspective and inquisitive, asking questions that are totally beyond anything that I thought of when I was 13. And when these different sides of you combine, the result is insightful, imaginative, and like your dad, fun-loving.
Because you're a deep thinker, many think of you as serious. But there's this other side of you that's light and joyful. Just like Mom said, it's amazing to watch these different layers mesh. During the pandemic, we shared many early morning bike rides, talking about everything, or trying to one-up each other with little jokes. Other times, it was quieter, and I knew you were making up stories in your head. Every now and then, you'd break the silence with your big laugh. I told you this many times, but that's one of my favorite things to hear. The most important thing you can have in life is passion. So far, you found many things you enjoy, like escape rooms, sketching, and of course, your iPad. But I don't think you've yet discovered your passion. And that's okay. Let your curiosity and creativity guide you until you find something that fills you with butterflies and purpose. Don't settle for the tried and true. Explore the new and unexpected.
Perry, you've never been afraid to march to your own beat. You know when you need time to pause and let your imagination run wild. Sometimes I challenge you to think more critically than you might like, but even then, I'm so proud of how you own your own process, how relaxed you are, how you take everything in stride. Although this can be very unnerving for an intense type A like me, maybe it will inspire me to be a little bit more like you. Per, you did an incredible job leading the service today, so calm and so present and so adult. You shared with everyone here all the things that make you special. Dad, Marlo, and I are beyond proud of what you accomplished today and every day. Remember that we will always be here for you when you need us, and even when you don't.
But I hope you always need your father and daughter sushi nights. Perrin, I want you to know that your dad is one of my greatest blessings. My life really began when we had you, and I'm lucky to spend it with you, Marlo, Mom, and Suki. As this story of your life unfolds, keep laughing, keep surrounding yourself with people and passions that bring you happiness. as you continue to make the transition from amazing little girl to the wonderful world, to the wonderful woman you're becoming. We can't wait to see what's next.
Love you.
Yeah.
How you doing? You all right?
Yeah.
Just take a moment to breathe again. A lot's happening right now. Bat mitzvahs come at odd times. You're told that you're now an adult, but something about every bar bat mitzvah wants to crawl inside a cocoon and be embraced by parents, and that's okay. I think all of us who are adults in the room want to be hugged by our parents and embraced, and there's something very special about that. Perrin, how awesome it is to stand at this moment with you. Zeh hayom asa Adonai nagila v'nismecha bo. This is a day that God has created, and let us rejoice in it. Perrin, what a breath of fresh air you were whenever you came into my study. I gave you the challenge to solve my office puzzle, then I went to do something thinking it would take you at least four different visits, but you finished it within like 30 seconds. And then you got faster and faster and faster as time went on. I think you broke the record, in fact, getting it within just a few seconds. That was one of the first ways I was impressed with you. But moving on from there was the complexity and depth of the many questions that you asked along the way. Questions filled with joy, questions filled with a sense of your wanting to be on this journey. And I love being able to respond to them. There's one particular question that just resonated inside of me. You wanted to know, well, what is Judaism's place in the modern world? You know, how do we fit in? That we're this ancient tradition, we go back 3,500 years. What's our place right now? And you even shared that your Torah portion can be confusing. You know, there's a lot in there that you don't quite understand. And one of the beauties that we have is not always being able to fully grasp what's there, but still wrestling with it. Well, I think a lot of the answer to your question is based on the name of your Torah portion, Bahar, the mountain. When you're up on Mount Sinai spiritually, you look back at where you've come from. And we certainly look back at great history that's in this room right now. Your family history brought to you a lot of cultures. You have Japanese culture, you have Jewish culture. And within the Jewish culture, we notice that a lot of the names of people we called up are Yiddish names. So there's this beautiful Yiddish heritage that's been embraced by your family. Those are all the treasures looking back from Mount Sinai. But on Mount Sinai, you also look forward. You look forward to the journey that you have to go on. You take these treasures that were given to you, and you ask the question you asked me, what is our place in the modern world? You bring those treasures and you carry them with you. You carry them as an honor. You carry them as an obligation. You carry them because that's the kind of person that you are, Perrin. What is our place in the modern world? To take thinking that's been part of our heritage for thousands of years and to ask yourself the question, what is my role in this, and how will I dance forward with it? Perrin, we have no question on our mind that you are going to bring Judaism into a very special place in a way that only you know how to do. We are so honored to be on this journey with you, to share in how you solve puzzles, to share in how you cross the desert, and to share in how you will bring us to a place of promise. We are so proud of you.
Perrin, so it's our turn. I just want you to take a moment and look at everyone that's here. Just really look around. Look at every single person that's here, your friends, your family, your religious school classmates, all of your loved ones. Everyone is here to support you today. Everyone is here because they love you. Everyone here is so proud of you, including us. This has been a big journey for you. It hasn't always been easy, but you kept going. You took one step at a time, and you kept pursuing this, and look at you now. You stood here with poise, with confidence, with grace, and you led us all in this incredible experience, this incredible service. You proved today that you can do anything you set your mind to. Thank you for all of our conversations, for all of our lessons. Sometimes we'd work, sometimes we wouldn't. We would just talk, and that was fantastic, and I'm really going to miss that. Thank you for the gift that you have brought all of us today. Mazel tov.
You did it!
Yay!
You're here! Look at us. Look, as Cantor said. Perrin, you are so funny and so creative. I still remember my favorite memory of you is when you showed me that Facebook page that you made for an assignment. Just sparking the tip of your creativity. You asked the best questions. You worked so hard, and you did such an amazing job. If I didn't know how nervous this process made you at the start, I never would have believed it. You are confident, you are capable, you did a fantastic job. I am so proud of you. May you keep moving forward with blessings and confidence and awesomeness. Mazel tov.
We're going to call forward your members from Akiba 7th grade for a special ritual we have underneath your family talit. Take this off. Oh, you guys are all getting so tall. Wow. Here, face us. Perrin? Look this way.
Yevarechecha Adonai ve'yishmerecha.
May God bless you and keep you.
Ya'er Adonai panav elecha v'chuneka.
May God's light shine upon you and be gracious unto you.
Yisa Adonai panav elecha ve'asem lecha shalom. Shalom.
May God's light always shine through you and grant you the gift of shalom, of peace. Amen.
Amen.
All right, everyone, group hug. It is now our honor to call forward, representing the congregation, Lisa Tsamanis. Lisa serves on our board of directors as financial secretary. Don't worry, you can keep your purses closed and your checkbooks in right now. No, there's no ask, but we are honored to have you here. Shabbat shalom.
Can I give you a hug? I'm just adding my praise as a representative of the temple board, the staff, our clergy, and the whole temple community today. It's a mazel tov to you, to your family, to everybody here for being here to support Perrin as you have throughout the years. We share something very special. We're friends.
We've known each other since the very first day of kindergarten for you, that you and Gabby were in the same class with Dr. Mahazab at Playa Vista Elementary. I still remember that day like it was yesterday. Where has the time gone, right? Something else that's really cool, and only you and I share this. Many, many years ago, I'm not going to say how many, I stood at the bima of my synagogue, and I read from the same Torah portion as you did today. It's so cool to hear it again. I think it's probably the first time that I've heard it since I recited it myself. So, very proud of you. The temple is very proud of you. You have a whole community that wraps around you and celebrates with you this very special day. And we want to give you, in honor of your bat mitzvah, I'll turn it around so everybody can see, it's a certificate for your bat mitzvah, congratulating you on reaching this very special day. And also, the temple has planted a tree in Israel on in celebration, sorry, losing the words there, in celebration of your bat mitzvah. I hope one day that you will get to go to Israel. Look for the tree, see if you can find it. But I hope you'll get a chance to go and explore that heritage, and this is to have something to look forward to when you go. Again, I just want to say, Mazel Tov. Very happy for you, very happy for your family, and congratulations.
Thank you so much, Lisa. So this is the scroll that we were talking about earlier in the service. I'm going to lift it up so you can see what it looks like on the inside. It says in Hebrew, Orenu me'ir tov yoter yachad. And that means our light shines brighter together. That's our temple motto. And every single person who becomes a bar or bat mitzvah has the opportunity to sign this on the inside. That way it becomes a living document, a living scroll. And so your name is going to go right underneath Samantha's from a week ago. And the dates. Everyone give her a mazel tov once again. Terrific. Friends, we're going to now move on to our concluding prayers. If we take our Sidurim, our prayer books out, and open to page 282, about halfway down the page, we offer the Aleinu prayer. Perrin, come with me. Let's open the ark.
Aleinu leshabeach la'adon hakol, la'atek gedula le'otzeh reshit, shelo asanu kuguye ha'aratzot, velo samanu kemishpachot ha'adama, shelo sam chelkenu kahem, vegor aleinu kechol hamonam. V'anachnu korim u'mishtachavim u'modim lifnei melech malchei hamlachim hakadosh baruch hu. V'nemar v'haya Adonai lemelech al kol haaretz bayom hahu Yeh Adonai echad, u'shemo echad.
On page 291, as we prepare for the mourner's Kaddish, I offer the following reading. There are stars up above so far away we only see their light long, long after the star itself is gone. And so it is with people that we loved. Their memories keep shining ever brightly, though their time with us is done. But the stars that light up the darkest night, these are the lights that guide us. As we live our days, these are the ways we remember. At this time, we remember beloved members of your family and friends who have died, who continue to shine upon us from their eternal resting spaces, including Dr. Stephen Serlin, Howard Serlin, Pauline Serlin, Saul Zwerin, Sarah Zwerin, Billy Zwerin, Sarah Bender, Martin Bender, Dr. Stephen Tucker, Eric Krantz, Douglas Tanimoto, Mary Tanimoto, Sakichi Tanimoto, Masaye Huera, George Huera, Charles Scott, and Bernie Ryan. May their names always guide us toward goodness. On page 294, page 294, we rise together for the mourner's Kaddish. Yitkadal v'yitkadash shemei rabbah, v'yamad divrach rotei v'yamlich malchutei, b'chayechon uv'yomechon, uv'chayei dechol beit Yisrael, b'galau v'yizman kariv imru, amen. Yehi shmei rabbah mevarach le'olam u'amei omaya, yitbarach v'yishtabach, v'yitba'ar v'yitromam v'yitnaseh, v'yitadar v'yitalev v'yitalal, shemei dekudashah b'richu, le'elam min kol birchata v'shirata, tushbechata v'nechemata, damiran b'yoma v'imru amen. Yehi shlama rabba min shemaya, v'chayim aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru amen. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom, aleinu v'al kol Yisrael, v'imru
Amen.
amen. May the one who causes peace to be known in the high heavens help us understand that by reaching out to one another, we create peace on earth as well. For all Israel and for all humanity, we say,
Amen.
Amen. Friends, if you'll place your books down, remain standing for a moment. Let's take another breath of fresh air.
We're going to be closing with the singing of Oseh Shalom. It's the last few lines of the prayer that we just recited. And we need your hands for this one because there's a lot of hand clapping. So we hope that you will join with us, sing with us, and clap along.
And Craig and Beth and Marlo, if you'll join us up front to help us out.
Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, shalom aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Oseh shalom b'mromav, hu ya'aseh shalom aleinu. Ya'aseh shalom, ya'aseh shalom, Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael. Yaseh Shalom, Yaseh Shalom, Shalom Aleinu ve'al kol Yisrael.
So we've got one more blessing, but before we do that blessing, just a little PSA. If everyone will take your blue prayer books again, the smaller ones, not the larger chumash, but the smaller ones, you're going to help us by giving them to our 7th graders on the way out so they can put them on the shelves as we leave the sanctuary. But before we do that, we have a motzi. So if your family, Perrin, will help us with motzi, then we'll all have some challah outside.
Ready?
Motzi lechem min haaretz. We give thanks to God for bread. Our voices joining happy chorus as our prayer is humbly said. Baruch atah Adonai Eloheinu melech haolam. Hamotzi lechem min haaretz b'tei avon. Shabbat shalom, everyone, and mazel tov.
Bread. Bread. Take bread. Oh, thank you.